What's up there, workforce? Chris here with Work to Game, and I promise that we are back to more normal coverage tomorrow, but I wanted to stop and talk about how exciting it is to see the major moves around Ninja moving to Mixer. Now, for those of you that don't know who Ninja is, because maybe you don't watch anything dealing with Fortnite and you've somehow avoided him in the news and on ESPN and on various different talk shows and all over the place, he is one of the largest Twitch streamers in the world. They have estimated that he averages over $500,000 a month in earnings, and he has a presence at tournaments and has hosted his own stuff, and he's just a big personality in the space. Our podcast here on the channel, we've actually had two of his brothers here, and the family is just incredible, wonderful, down-to-earth people, where one of them is happening to have an amount of success that is just hard to fathom. So Mixer, in case you're wondering what that is one of the many platforms that has come up over the years to take on the platforms like YouTube and Twitch, this one namely Twitch. It's a streaming service. It started out as Beam, which I thought was Casey Neistat's company, and that would have been back in like 2016 or something like that. And then as of last year, I think they rebranded it as Mixer. That seems about the right time. And Bryan and I have tried creating a Mixer account. We've tried streaming over there. And one of the issues with a company coming in and trying to take some of that pie from Twitch and from YouTube and anything like that is that these companies, they don't have that audience, and they're growing, and that's great, but when somebody that's already on one of the platforms wants to move over, they get there and they realize there's nobody here. And so if you don't bring an audience with you, it's very much like walking into an empty room. And so it's very hard to want to sustainably stream over there, especially to get your start over there, because there just isn't that overwhelmingly number of viewers, where on YouTube or Twitch, when you're first starting out, you can get a little bit of that overflow by playing the right game or by streaming in the right time slot and things like that. And then through being engaging, you can start to get those people to seek you out, and then you can grow and you can build. But it all starts with streaming somewhere that has that core audience. So it's made both those platforms incredibly large and incredibly lucrative for content creators to stay there, especially the really large ones. But what they've done here, and I can't imagine for how much this cost, is they've basically purchased that and they've plucked it. It'll be interesting to see how much of his audience follows, or some of his audience is like, I really like Twitch, and when I'm on Twitch, one of the people I watch is Ninja, because now they're going to have that separate tab open, or they're going to have to find something else to watch on Mixer. I find that in my personal life, when you compare it to like the other streaming services out there, I spend a lot of time checking Netflix when I'm watching a Netflix show regularly. And when I don't want to watch that show, I still find myself checking Netflix for other things to watch, even if at that same time I have an active subscription to HBO Now or Hulu or Amazon Prime or any of those things. I find that I only check them after I'm done checking the one that has my primary content on it. And so if you're used to watching Ninja, maybe that does bring people over. It's a big move for Microsoft. Microsoft has made all sorts of announcements around gaming and around, the Xbox and their possible cloud gaming platforms and all of these things that have said that gaming is like 10% or something of their revenue right now, but they've been interested in investing in gaming, and they're here for the long haul. And so when they make all these moves, when we see them at E3 announcing that they purchased this studio or that studio, or they have this in the works, this is another part of that, building that streaming community, building that online community in a place like Mixer, and being willing to put their money where their mouth is and say, you know what, we're ready to dump some serious cash into getting this thing off the ground, is really, really exciting for the space. It's really exciting for smaller creators, somebody like, even us, that we can't go over there because there just isn't anybody waiting. There isn't anybody to stream to, as opposed to we can stream on Twitch, we can stream here on YouTube, and we can have, a pretty engaging stream. And for any of you that have tried streaming out, it's really hard to stream without an audience. It's really hard to stream without somebody to talk to. You're having a one-directional conversation. There's not even chat coming back. I mean, honestly, just get your phone out, put it on record instead of a phone call, and try having an hour conversation with yourself. It's really difficult. And so Mixer having a bigger group over there, that's exciting. Maybe that ends up being more Fortnite players come over. Maybe when he goes back to streaming 11, that makes 11 really popular on Mixer, because it's really struggled on Twitch. And you can see how a few more purchases like this, because it is a purchase. They're buying, they're renting an audience. It doesn't mean those numbers aren't real. So when they're rolling ads and things, and they're saying, hey, your ad is going to be rolled against this many viewers, and this is how much you have to pay for that, that's a real number. But they purchase that number. And so it's a little bit different. And in its sustainability, the question is, how long did they contract Ninja for? The fact that he said he's moving over, and he, in his tweet, he called it the next chapter. Sounds like they've got quite a while. Sounds like, maybe it's a year or something like that. And so if it's a year or more, how much did that cost? And then what happens to Ninja if nobody follows him? And, just like a professional athlete, they can go over and get paid, but it can be the end of their career if they kind of lose that clout. And, if he chooses to come back to Twitch after, will he be met with open arms by the community? Will he grow back to what he was? Because he's giving up a ton of subscribers, a crazy number of those $5 a month. He gets his piece. And when you multiply that by those big numbers, that's a huge chunk of his estimated 500,000 or more. Then you factor on top of that the brand deals, things like his partnership with Red Bull and with Apex and all of these. There's these huge amounts of money around him. And from everything that we've seen, he seems to have a pretty business savvy thing on his head, which is not required of a good streamer, and many don't have it. But he seems to say, hey, I know what I'm worth, and I know what's important to me, and I know my priorities. I know what it costs me to take time with my family and the importance of that. And so for him to make a move like this and say, I'm going to be streaming on Mixer, this is the schedule I can stick to, this is contractually what I can promise, I think would have been very calculated, very carefully thought out. And I think that he probably asked Mixer for a set of terms that I can't imagine was easy to swallow. So congratulations to Ninja for even having the opportunity to take that move. I don't know if other people have had the opportunity and just turned it down, and that's why we don't hear about it. Congratulations. Big hats off to you. Not a huge Fortnite player, so I can't promise to be the one over there, but I'll go take advantage of Mixer's free subscription to support him that first month. I assume that that's, a way to boost his numbers and get those emotes and things in chat. So I'll go do the free month subscription over there, and way to go. I'm really excited to see what this does for the platform. Is there a third player in the room in a meaningful sense? Because it's always been Twitch and YouTube, and they're so inherently differently that YouTube streaming does not take on Twitch, and Twitch VODs don't take on YouTube's, video library. So even in the room where you've got the two big giants, they don't seem to punch each other too often. They seem to coexist relatively peacefully, and to have Mixer in the room, it'll be interesting to see what their place is. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. This is big news for gaming. The Fortnite win where that 16-year-old got $3 million, all of these things, this legitimizes gaming. When you see deals like this is what says that a gaming spokesperson is worth what a movie star is worth what a professional athlete is, and that they represent a real industry, that they are an expert in their field, and that their audience is made up of real consumers that have a meaningful place in society. And sometimes gaming gets the short end of the stick with that. Sometimes gaming doesn't get treated seriously. We get treated like, oh, well, that's just something kids do. And it's so much more than that. And in the same way that sports is, in the same way that movies is, right? It's obviously an entertainment thing. It's obviously not, it's not the same as an education or something like that in its, I guess, seriousness, but it is an important part of society that we have entertainment values, and that gaming is stepping up to be on par with some of the others. I think is really exciting, especially as somebody who spends a lot of their time talking about gaming. So I'm just excited. I'm excited for Ninja. I'm excited for Mixer. I'm excited for gaming in general. I hope that all the other content creators out there, if you haven't created a Mixer account, go over there and create one. Try it out, stream over there a couple times. It's an exciting time to send a message to Microsoft. Hey, we'll come hear you out. And then, if you decide to make a move from wherever your current content is, then that's your call. But it's an exciting time to be in gaming. And I feel like I've been saying that about streaming and games coming out and everything lately. And just the last few years have felt like we're just gearing up for this big shift. And this is just one more step in that. So thank you guys. Have a fantastic day. My name is Chris with Work2Game, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, it's me. Thanks so much for watching this video. You should click here to subscribe and here to maybe check out some more of our videos. So again, thanks for watching. We hope you like this video. We hope you subscribe and join our community. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and we'll see you next time.